Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 15 and compare it against the iPhone 11 and see which particular iPhone is the better one for you. Now, clearly in almost every single way, the iPhone 15 is going to be the better iPhone here. That one's going to be giving you better capability, better quality, pretty much better everything across the board. However, with that being said, I would still imagine that with something like the iPhone 15, there might be maybe one area where the iPhone 11 is better. So just kind of keep that in mind. I do think when you're looking at both these types of devices though, you are going to be getting a pretty good capable device still kind of from the iPhone 11, but the iPhone 15 is definitely going to be one that's probably going to be giving you better capability. But let's take a look at if at any point you want to go and pick up either one of these types of devices though, you can go ahead and basically, check out the comment section or the description down below, and it will go ahead and list out a bunch of phones that you can go and check out where you can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones. When you take a look at both these devices, the biggest thing to remember is that the iPhone 11 came out a while ago. This phone originally came out back in 2019. So this phone is definitely kind of showing its age now, as you can probably imagine. So it's not really the latest and greatest anymore. It is a significantly older type of device. With this type of device though, you are essentially going through and getting a 6.1-inch Retina IPS LCD panel on the front side. So it's an IPS LCD panel. There's not really anything crazy going on with it, as you can probably imagine. It's going to be more or less a pretty basic type of experience. So when you're going to go through and pick up some of these types of devices, you're going to have to remember that that's kind of what's going on here for the most part. So it's not really going to be like the latest and greatest anymore. It's definitely going to show its age here and there. So if you're going to go through and pick up a device, you will have to remember that that's kind of what's going on here. But even with that being said, it's totally okay. Things like this phone, they come and go. But the iPhone 15 is definitely going to be the phone that's going to be giving you a way better experience here for sure. The iPhone 15 is basically going to be able to go through and it's going to be giving you a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this type of panel inside of that phone is definitely going to be way better. It's going to be way sharper, it's going to be way brighter, and it's going to be an OLED display. So everything is going to look so much nicer inside of that type of panel. And I would imagine that if you are about to go through and pick up a device, that is kind of the one that I recommend kind of buying. I feel like that type of phone is definitely going to look really good. I feel like that type of device is going to stand the test of time for quite some time. And I do think, once again, that's a really big thing to keep in mind here. Because you probably want to go ahead and buy a phone that is going to be giving you a better experience, right? And that is kind of what's going to end up happening here for the most part. So with something like the iPhone 15, that one's going to be it's going to be a better display in almost every single way. So from that side too, that kind of covers it up here as well. Another very important thing to keep in mind here though, is that with the iPhone 15, this phone is also essentially going to be able to go through and give you a way better type of experience when it basically comes down to its, when it comes down to its I/O. The iPhone 15 is giving you a USB Type-C port. The iPhone 11 is basically going to go through and give you a Lightning port. So if you are about to go through and pick up a phone, that right there is also going to be another one of those key areas where you can go through and get just like a way better type of device from that particular situation as well. So if I'm about to go through and pick up a device, I would much rather want to go through and buy one of those types of phones that's going to be giving me that type of better capability. So from that side as well, although it's not the biggest deal in the world, it could just be one of those other minor things to kind of keep in mind there as well. On top of that, when it comes down to maybe some other areas of these phones too, I will tell you the backside, the iPhone 15 again is a really good device. Frosted glass back. The iPhone 11 is giving you the standard glass back, which probably will be okay for a lot of people, but I actually do like a lot getting like a frosted glass back because that is definitely going to make these phones feel that much more premium when it comes down to it from that side as well. So when it comes down to the exterior, I'm a fan of both, but the iPhone 15 is by far a way better type of device when it comes down to it from that side, without a doubt. So from that side too, that kind of covers it up there as well. Now, on top of that, another very important thing to keep in mind here as well is between both of these devices, the iPhone 15 is basically going to be giving you a pretty solid type of experience when it basically comes down to its camera. So the cameras on the back of both these things, they're both pretty good, right? You might see them and think they're the same. The iPhone 11 is giving you this dual 12 megapixel camera, where the iPhone 15 is giving you a 48 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. So the iPhone 15 has a higher likelihood right there of kind of giving you like a better type of experience. that phone is probably going to be the one that is going to look better. It's going to perform a little bit better as well. So that is kind of one of those things to keep in mind here. But you're still able to do 4K at 60 on the front and the back of both these phones. So nothing really big or out of the ordinary is kind of going on there. They're both going to be relatively more or less the same. So I think that right there is going to be one of those big things to keep in mind there as well. But with that being said, both these devices are still going to be giving you like a pretty good solid experience when it comes down to, the cameras. But again, the iPhone 15 is definitely going to be the one that's going to be better here for sure. Now, on top of that, another very important thing to keep in mind here too is the fact that between both these devices, the iPhone 15 is also going to be able to go through and give you a much longer lasting phone. So this is one of those big things to keep in mind here too. If you're wanting a phone that is going to be giving you a longer lasting device, it does make a lot of sense to go through and get a device that is probably going to be a little bit longer lasting than what you're getting right now. And I would tell you, in my personal opinion, if you are about to go through and pick up a device, it does make a lot more sense to go through and buy one of these types of phones. So from that particular situation alone as well, it does make a lot of sense to go through and pick up one of these types of devices. But the iPhone 15 is definitely going to be the one that's going to be giving you a way better experience from that particular side as well. So that right there, I think, is another one of those really big things to keep in mind there too. On top of that, when it comes down to their performance, the iPhone 11 is giving you the Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 15 is giving the Apple A16 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So this right there is another very big key takeaway area here too. Because if you are wanting the phone that is going to be giving you a better experience, well, it makes a lot more sense to go and buy one of these types of devices that is going to be giving you just an overall better experience here. And I would probably imagine that with something like an iPhone 15, that's going to be a way faster phone here in almost every single way. If you're wanting the phone that's going to be giving you a better experience, it makes a lot more sense to go through and get the device that's going to be giving you the better experience here in this situation. And that's pretty much what's going on here. You're going to be getting just the faster phone, the better performing phone, just a better device overall inside of something like the iPhone 15. Like that phone is going to be faster, it's just going to be better. And that's the one that I would recommend people to kind of take a look at from that particular situation as well. So from that side too, that kind of covers it up there as well. And to be honest, I will definitely tell you, if you're about to go through and basically pick up a device, it makes a lot of sense to go through and buy a device like a iPhone 15. But there's a lot of iPhones in between here that also make a lot of sense to go and pick up as well. I definitely do think an iPhone like an iPhone 14 Pro would also make a lot of sense to go and pick up as well. And you can't really go wrong with one of those types of devices either. Also, I think an iPhone like an iPhone, 13 Pro is not that bad either. And it's definitely a really big upgrade coming from the iPhone, 11. So kind of keep that in mind as well. But I don't really think you can go super wrong with either one of these. But that's kind of how I feel with these types of devices. I like both of them, but I definitely do think the iPhone 15 is the far better one here for sure. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.